Pedro left the Farrell mansion in a storm of urgency, carrying Catherine in his arms, ignoring Marco's attempt to follow. His cold warning stopped Marco in place, leaving the entire family standing helplessly at the top of the stairs. A moment later, the sound of a car speeding away echoed through the estate, a sign that Catherine had been taken straight to the hospital. Inside the mansion, the atmosphere shifted into something darker. Holden approached the study door with hesitation. He knew Clarissa well, her temper, her ambition, and her capacity for ruthlessness. With a deep breath, he knocked, but his wife's furious voice barked from inside, commanding him to leave. She was still seething, speaking with venom to her assistant about the destruction she wanted inflicted on Liberty. Clarissa had chosen her battlefield, and she was prepared to fight to the end. Holden knocked again, identifying himself, and eventually, Clarissa allowed him to enter. What he found inside was a woman consumed by anger and spiraling desperation. The room bore signs of her rage. Objects scattered across the floor, the air heavy with tension. He wasted no time confronting her about Catherine. Pain and betrayal seeped from his words as he condemned her for harming their biological daughter, just as she had once orchestrated Shiloh's death. Shiloh's memory weighed heavily on Holden. Despite later learning she was not his biological child, he had loved her deeply. The girl he raised and cherished had died as a result of machinations she never deserved. The conspiracy involving the baby swap, Clarissa's hatred for Shiloh's family, and Shiloh's eventual downfall haunted him. He had never forgiven Clarissa for her role in it. Her actions toward Catherine now awakened that same fury. Clarissa, however, had never been a woman who accepted judgment easily. In an instant, the argument erupted into physical violence. Holden was weakened, not only by age but by the lingering effects of his hospitalization after being forced to castrate himself. He could not defend himself against her ferocity. Clarissa, trained and physically capable, unleashed her anger on him without restraint. The fight ended with Holden bruised, blooded, and sprawled on the floor, defeated in every sense. As she stood over him, breath rugged, Clarissa let her resentment spill. She accused Holden of hypocrisy, claiming he cared for Catherine only because of how her downfall might affect him and their sons. She justified her hatred towards Shiloh, insisting any mother would be enraged after learning her own child had been mistreated while another took her place and enjoyed the privileges her daughter had been denied. Over time, bitterness had consumed her, turning a woman once capable of affection into someone ruled entirely by vengeance. Her hatred had gone so deep that she had destroyed her relationship with her own husband. The breaking point had come not because of Shiloh's ambitions, but because of a scandal between Shiloh and Holden, one that Clarissa could never forgive, regardless of the circumstances that had caused it. That betrayal hardened her beyond repair. Holden, battered but still defiant, spat out his own bitterness. He told her that one day she would be abandoned by everyone, left alone with the ruins she created. And those words struck Clarissa harder than any blow. She already knew her empire was crumbling. Audrey was getting closer to reclaiming the family's legacy, and the rightful heirs were poised to take everything Clarissa had fought for. Her fear of losing everything fueled her rage. In fury, she ordered Holden to leave the mansion forever, along with their sons. The marriage that had endured decades of coldness, secrets, and manipulation finally shattered. Holden left the study humiliated but determined never to return. His sons met him in the hallway. stunned by their father's battered appearance. They had heard the chaos from downstairs and instinctively rushed up, only to find the remnants of yet another violent confrontation between their parents. Holden urged them to leave with him, insisting that Clarissa valued power far more than family. Meanwhile, Pedro drove through the city with Catherine in the back seat. She regained consciousness, just long enough to issue a warning. Liberty needed to be protected, and she should avoid danger by returning to Wilspoon. Pedro gripped the steering wheel tightly. The storm within the Farrell family was far from over, and Catherine's warning signaled that the next wave was already approaching.